stopping by the channel. This is going to be my recap and review for Real Housewives of Miami. This is season 4, episode 12. This is the finale, y'all. So we made it to the, well, I mean, it ain't the end. We got 2 more episodes, which would be the reunion. But let's get into it. It was a sad episode, but it still was a good episode. But let's get into it. Episode opens up. We're still at the Versace mansion for Alexia's birthday. Not birthday, her bachelorette party. I screamed when Alexia was like, as Larsa and Adriana was still fighting. She was like, I thought this was supposed to be about, we're going to talk about our drug dealer boyfriends from the 80s. And I screamed. I said, okay. Because if you don't know, Alexia is in Cocaine Cowboys, which is a documentary on Netflix. And it talks about her kid's father. So like Peter's and Frankie's dad, and him being a drug dealer or a runner, supposedly, for like, and that's why he's been in jail or has like, you know, they like, it's crazy. It's a good documentary. But they're going back and forth. You know, I was thinking that Larsa was going to eat up Adriana because everyone was saying how Larsa ate up Adriana. But to me, she didn't eat her up. I think they were evenly matched, in my opinion, because it was like, nobody was like, they were both throwing digs at each other. So I wanted Lisa to stay out of it because Lisa was trying to like jump in, and I was like, Lisa, shut up, because you're not gonna do nothing. Just be quiet. Just be quiet and like watch the fight like everybody else is watching the fight. You got Gertie over there clutching her imaginary pearls. Johnny just sitting there like, you got Alexia's friends like shook, like, and Marisol and Nicole are just over it. And Marisol's just like, this is supposed to be about Alexia, not y'all. So honestly, everybody wants Adriana to get over it and move past it because they don't feel as though Larsa walks around like she's better than them. And maybe that's because they have more self-confidence and don't really see Larsa as somebody to be threatened by. But I think it's a mixture of both for Adriana. I think Adriana is in a vulnerable place right now where she's at a point in her life where she thought she never would be, where, you know, her son has left the home, her husband left her, or she got a divorce. And it's like she didn't think in her 50s this is where she would be. Whereas, and she's lonely. But there's a lot of things that Adriana has to be proud of and accomplishments she has. Same with Larsa. But I think Larsa does. People try to debate with me with this, but I really do think Larsa thinks she's better than Adriana. She said slick things throughout the season that let you know that she thinks she's better than her. And I feel like people didn't catch it. When they first met up on the first episode, she brought up how Adriana's titties look rock hard. And I'm like, girl, but your booty is fake. So what are we talking about? Like, we know that thing don't shake. Then when Kiki and Adriana went to Larsa to get help with taking feet pics, you know, to get their OnlyFans up, Larsa shaded Adriana talking about her feet would only be worth like $2 or $3. And she could never get as much money as I get with my feet. And it's just that, like, I do think she feels like she's better than her, you know. I think what pissed off Adriana, or what really kickstarted the conversation, was that when Larsa said that Adriana tried to give Julia a Xanax while she was like going through what she was going through with the whole alcohol poisoning, it really upset Adriana because I think Adriana was like, so you're trying to say that I tried to hurt my friend? And they went back and forth. So I wrote down what they said. So you had Adriana said, I've known you for more than 10 years. You went to LA and then you come back and you act like you're somebody. She was like, you're Kim K's minion. You're a mean girl. You always hit below the belt. And just because your butt is bigger, just because your butt is bigger than Kim Kardashian's, that doesn't make you somebody. Larsa's rebuttal was, you're bipolar, you're insecure, you're mad that my stock went higher and I have all these accolades and your stock went down. You dress like a clown, you're homeless, and you're a fat ass. So everyone's sitting at the table. So then Larsa is like, Adriana, but that's the thing. I think the reason why I didn't think Adriana got ate up, because Adriana was still ready to go before Larsa got up and left. Like, Larsa gets up and leave, and I'm like, to me, that means you didn't win the fight. Why did you feel the need to leave? Like, we don't even, like, she didn't even stay for the bachelorette party. When she came initially to the party to stay and sleep over with the women, she got so upset that she was like, I'm going to go home with my kids. So I'm like, if she really ate Adriana up, I feel like she would have sat there, ate her food, drank her drink, and would have turned up with the ladies. But she left. So to me, that doesn't mean, like, you ain't win. You lost points for that with me. You lost points with me with that one. So Larsa and Nicole leave. Nicole has work in the morning. Larsa left after the fight. So they turning up. They is turning up. They partied until 3:47 in the morning. They had like a sexy, like, I guess he wasn't that cute, but he was cute, but not, you know. But they had a he delivered dick donuts. I was like, they make those. And he had no shirt on. He was real buff with a little man bun. They were dancing. They had like a the huge pink penis pinata. They busted that open. Oh, that didn't sound right. But they did. They knocked open the pinata. They did body shots. They had, I guess, I don't know if they were Versace workers, but they did body shots off of these male strippers. They had a fun night. They, like I said, they stayed up till 3 o'clock in the morning, basically 3:47, which is basically 4 a.m. Then they had breakfast. We see Julia and Adriana talking in bed, talking about they gotta get ready. Adriana feels like Larsa's just a mean person. When they get to breakfast, it was beautiful. Like, the breakfast was pretty. And the china, I remember Marisol in the previous episode said she has to bring her own Versace china or her own china. It was pink. It was hot pink. It was really pretty with gold embellishments. Larsa comes to breakfast, which everyone was kind of like, oh, you came? Okay, sis, what's up? And Adriana was bothered. She was bothered. Adriana was not happy to see her there. So that breakfast dinner was a mess. We about to let's get it. Larsa comes to breakfast. Adriana is bothered. When Larsa gets there, she says hi to everyone. Good morning, good morning. She even says good morning to Adriana. Then she sits down, and it's like she honed in on Julia. I don't even know how they got onto the conversation, but Larsa was upset about Julia saying that, like, she couldn't connect with Larsa. So then Julia says, you know, I felt some type of way, mainly about, I guess they had a conversation about Instagram. So supposedly Larsa said she didn't want to follow Julia, or she didn't feel the need to follow Julia because Julia only had 4K subscribers or 4K followers. And Larsa was like, I went on your social media, you don't really be posting nothing. But most people don't really be posting nothing on IG unless it's like that's their means of an income, or they just like to post constantly. So Julia felt some type of way, and she was just like, that kind of just rubbed me the wrong way. And then when you said the out of wedlock comment, that rubbed me the wrong way also. So I just felt like there was nothing connecting us. So then Larsa comes back and was like, you have a biased opinion. You know, all the things that she said to me, and referring to Adriana, all the things she said about my friends, bringing up the whole Kanye situation. And Julia was like, I don't know what you're talking about. So I don't think Adriana told Julia about the whole Kanye blow up thing or anything like that. Because I guess she didn't know that they had another exchange of words. And so all of a sudden Larsa starts crying, and she's basically saying like she's overwhelmed. She's trying to, like, you know, do these things for her kids, blah, blah, blah. And then Adriana interjects, and she was like, okay, we're all trying to do things for our kids, you know, whatever, girl. These crocodile tears they're not doing it for me. So then Larsa gets angry again. And she was like, Adriana, what's your problem with me? And she was like, you walk around like you, and Adriana's like, you walk around like you better than everybody. And she's like, no, I don't. And so Larsa asks everyone at the table, do I do that? And everyone else at the table is like, no, like, we're not, like, we're good over here. So it's kind of like, girl, it's looking at Adriana like, sis, it's just you that has this issue, not nobody else. So, excuse me. So Adriana is like, you know, I'm like, I'm college educated. I have a graduate degree. I've been to over 50 countries. I speak 5 languages, and I'm going to Harvard. And Larsa's like, girl, I speak 4. And Lisa kind of was like, well, she doesn't talk down to people. And that's when Adriana was like, she called me a nobody. Like, what are you talking about, Lisa? Like, shut up. So then it got worse when Adriana was like, you know, you walk around here with a stick up your fat ass. And then Lisa was like, whoa, whoa. And everyone at the table was like, y'all, like, calm down. Like, it doesn't need to be this. And then Larsa's like, well, maybe you should walk that way. And Adriana's like, girl, all I've heard is negative things about you in the press. I've never heard anything good about you. So then Larsa's like, you're just mad because I'm getting pressed and I have growth and you have no growth. And I'm like, girl, Larsa, that's not really a dig when, like, the growth we've seen ain't been much other than your ass size. Your booty done grown. But have you really had growth when all of a sudden you started to do this jewelry line and all of those things of that nature when Scotty and you were having a divorce? Growth would have been when you got to LA and got with Kim. You would have started to create your own avenue of income separate from Scotty, where you wouldn't be now after this divorce scrambling trying to make an empire for yourself. So then Larsa says that Adriana is basically just jealous of her. And it could be that. It could be that. But it also could be that Adriana feels like this energy that you think you are better than her. But I will say, I think Adriana won this argument slightly, just a little bit, not by much, but just a little bit when she said, I'm like, our growth. And she was like, girl, you're running around here with Malik, who's 23 years old and still married. And Larsa didn't have no rebuff to that or no rebuttal because she completely moved past that and was like, you know what, Alexia, I came here to celebrate you. I'm happy that you're getting married. I just want to have a good time. I said, you ain't got no comment. You ain't got no comment. Like, there's no comment you want to make about that. So I said, okay, girl. Okay. Everybody basically just wants them to drop it. Like, no one cares. They're like, okay, you can have this energy here, but Alexia's like, don't bring this energy to my wedding. So the next scene we see is Julia in this pretty black dress. Like, she was sauntering up to her wife with her goat and her dog. And basically, Julia doesn't really want to leave her home. Like, she loves the home that they built because I guess this is where they've been living the longest, where her kids have grown up. But she was like, the place that they're moving to now, she can't have Elvis there. So she doesn't want to get rid of Elvis, which is the goat. She was trying to see if she can make Elvis like a domesticated animal, but you can't, because you can't train goats to poop anywhere. Like, goats just be pooping wherever they feel like it. Trust me, I know. Then Julia was saying how she was having a rough time dealing with her kids leaving. And but Martina kept saying research, time to research. And I didn't know if she said time to research in reference to research of finding places for their animals to go, because they can't bring but so many animals to the new home that they're moving to. Or where they, and she was like, maybe research and says find a new home for them to go, or find find a new place for them to go. Or what she's saying, research for her to go to therapy to work on her feelings with her children being gone. Either way, I just didn't like the way Martina was kind of just dismissing Julia's feelings. I was like, okay, stop saying research. We get it. You want her to research to find better ways to cope. I don't know. It was annoying. Then we see Alexia and Todd. We finally get to see Todd's mom and brother. They're having family dinner. It was awkward AF. They don't seem to met. I don't know. It just seems like Alexia and Todd are getting married and everybody else around them is just there. It just felt real awkward. We find out, unfortunately, Alexia's mom is still in the hospital. And it's Alexia's life, basically. Alexia's just be going through. So the next thing we see is Lenny and Lisa. Basically, Lisa wants some sex, but Lenny don't want to give it to her. He tired from work. He wants to have another kid. She better not have another kid because she already struggling with the 2 she got. She was like, Logan and Ellie are a lot, which are her son and daughter. Lenny wants another child, but like Lisa said, you're not home enough. I'm by myself. You only home during nights and weekends. And the kids noticed. They want you to be around more. And she was like, I have to explain to Logan that you're working so you can provide us this lifestyle. But Lisa's also was like, I don't want to go through IVF. She went through IVF for 7 times. And she was just like, that's a lot of stress on the body, which it is. So don't have no baby, Lisa. Don't have no baby if you don't want to have no baby. He can let that go. Then he can let it go. Then we see Larsa's, her daughter and Sophia. Mind you, I don't understand why they were having this conversation in front of Sophia. She even said, like, this is so awkward. So then Larsa told her to go outside. It's not like Sophia's only like 12 or 13. She ain't need to be a part of that conversation. And I was looking at Larsa like, girl, tell your child to leave. Like, that's an awkward conversation where she was like, they don't want to sell, like, she's having mixed emotions about selling her home. They've been in that house for 20 years. She's overwhelmed. They got to move in 3 weeks. Excuse me. She was like, they've been trying to get a divorce from each other for 3 years. And she's just like, she's overwhelmed because in this scene, she finally signed the divorce documents. And I think she was a little taken back at the fact that, like, Scotty had already signed them documents and his lawyer sent them over. So it was, like, up to her whether or not she wanted to get a divorce. Like, well, not up to her, but, like, she was the one that had to sign it to make it final. And she felt she kind of felt some type of way. But she's officially divorced. She said she's scared because she said for the most part of her adult life, she's been having someone to rely on, and now it's just her. And I was like, that's understandable. Like, I think everyone goes into marriages thinking that they're going to last and stand the test of times, and sometimes it doesn't. So it's like you have to readjust your expectations of where you thought you would be in life and readjust the way you see yourself in your relationship. So next thing you know, we see Marisol. I don't like the fact that she named her dog Tupac, just like I don't like the fact that Noella named her dog Rihanna. Don't be naming animals after black people, black celebrities. Don't do that. Don't do it. I don't like that. I don't like that. So then we see we're at Marisol's house, and unfortunately Marisol gets a FaceTime from Nicole, and they're talking about Alexia's mom. Her mom basically got released to hospice, and if you don't know what hospice is, it's basically like where you're taken care of, where you're made comfortable, and it's kind of like it's there to help you transition the best way you can without pain. So they released her from the hospital to hospice care. You can really tell Marisol loves Alexia because she was like, the fact that she took that call with Nicole and she don't even like Nicole like that. And then on top of that, she just was like, I just want this to be over for Alexia, because Marisol has been there with her own mom. So she knows the pain she's going through. Then we see Gertie at home with her husband, and the wedding is postponed because of what, Alexia's mom dealing what they're dealing with. Gertie is trying to cancel and get as much money back for Alexia and Todd. Alexia mom dies on the day of the wedding, because I remember I told y'all that, like, I think I like I said in the last video, I thought she either passed away the day before the wedding or after the wedding. I didn't know she actually died on the day that they were actually supposed to get married. And y'all, Gertie had me in tears. Gertie had me in tears mainly because her reaction to getting the text message that Alexia's mom passed away. I was like, that is how I would react. Like, I would look at that, put my phone down, and just be crying. Like, oh my God. Because it's like, what do you say when that happens to someone? Like, there's nothing you really can say other than to be there for them. So they end up having a memorial for Alexia, even though Alexia didn't attend. They just wanted to be there for her. They wanted to give her space. Everybody shows up. I don't know why Lisa showed up in that bright lime green dress. She looked beautiful, but I was just like, Lisa, this is not what you wear to a memorial. Luckily, who else came? Everybody was there, but who didn't wear black? No, Julia didn't wear black and Adriana didn't wear black, but their colors were muted. Adriana had on white and black. Julia had on a muted I think it's champagne dress or a tanner dress, and then Lisa with this lime green. Mind you, I am sick of Larsa wearing these bodycon dresses. She don't have no regular clothes. She always naked. She always naked. Like them dresses be too. It be too much on her ass. Like too. It's like this be her booty, and then this be the dress. It be like booty. Like I don't like it. I don't like it. I'm like, it's cute when y'all going out like to the club. Okay, girl, wear your outfit. But like this a memorial, girl. Pull your skirt down. Pull your skirt down. So they have a beautiful tribute for her. They put, light the lanterns and put it in the pool, and everybody says like really beautiful things. We get to see Marisol and Nicole talk, and Marisol apologizes to Nicole, basically saying like, I didn't get close to you because I've heard all those bad things that you were saying about us, and I was very cautious, and you were cautious too, and you had every right to be, and I'm sorry, and can we start anew? And Marisol basically was like, let's start fresh. So that's good. I don't know. The reunion didn't look like they started fresh. So it's the day of the funeral. Julia, everyone's there. The only people who couldn't be there were Larsa and Nicole. Nicole was working and Larsa was in LA. Everyone was getting ready. All the ladies who could attend were at the funeral. We see Todd, Alexia, and what's her name? Frankie in the car, and she's kind of being short with Todd because she wanted champagne flutes because her mother loved drinking out of champagne flutes. But Todd didn't go to the right place. He didn't go to like Party City or like but he couldn't find them, and they've all been kind of scrambling trying to do the right thing for the mom because for the funeral. She apologized to him, but we got some really beautiful information about Alexia's mom. Like she was her being a doctor was something that Alexia cherished. Her mom was a psychiatrist. She said back in the day all her friends' moms were like stay-at-home moms. They didn't have degrees, but my mom was a doctor and I looked up to her for that. She said that her mom was her hero. She said her mom was a cougar when didn't nobody even know what a cougar was. And she just was like, she was just someone who didn't care what people thought of her. And she was just such a wonderful person. And I thought that was wonderful. That's the kind of like, to have that relationship with your mom, that's something you should cherish. Because not a lot of people have those relationships. And I was just like, y'all, when I tell you, when she started crying at the end when they went to the funeral, because they didn't film the funeral, they just stayed outside. And when Gertie was hugging her, I was like, ooh. That just sucked. Because I know she really wanted her mom to be there. And she couldn't be there. And I hated that for her. So now we're at the end. It's the end of the season. We're wrapping it up. We find out that Alexia and Todd ended up getting married in St. Bart's by themselves. She looked beautiful, and we're happy for them. But it was short-lived because we know Peter that got caught up putting his hands on people, allegedly, when he ain't had no business doing it. I said their bliss was short-lived because Peter done got locked up for putting his hands on people. And so the headline that they show, it says Real Housewives of Miami star Alexia, I can't say that girl last name, son Peter is charged with battery misdemeanor after alleged physical altercation with his girlfriend. The next people we see is Gertie. Gertie is being featured in Vogue for the best wedding planners in the U.S., Canada, and overseas. So get it, girl. We see Nicole talking to her husband, well, her fiance now, but she doesn't want to move from the house that they're in. Even though the house they're being offered $40 million, which is a lot, and I would have took that. I would have been like, girl, find another house, because $40 million in this economy is nice. A $40 million offer. They had a $40 million offer, but it fell through. Unfortunately, it fell through. But they're getting together. It says Anthony came through with one offer. Nicole also claimed she didn't need, but Anthony came through. Oh, my bad, y'all. This is what it says. Anthony came through with one offer. Nicole always claimed she didn't need: a wedding proposal and a 10-carat diamond. So like I said, they're fiancés now, so good for them. We see Lenny with the kids and Lisa. They said, Lisa's enjoying her 2 kids. She ain't trying to have no kids anytime soon. But she was like, you never know. She changes her opinion. We see Larsa. Larsa's with her kids. Her and her family are bi-coastal with their co-parenting. After searching, she found a new home. It's a penthouse, which next season I want to see. It probably looks beautiful. You know, they sold their old home, their family home, for $10 million. And then we find out that Julia and Martina have moved into their home, but they also have purchased a farm. So, you know, the animals is good. You know, they're good. And the season ends there. I said, all in all, for this to be like a reboot, I think this was a good reboot. I think the number of episodes, it being 12 episodes, was the perfect. Because I feel like, excuse me, y'all. I feel like we're getting to a point where Housewives that, like, too much is too much. You know, Salt Lake City was on for 24 episodes and people felt like it's dragging on. Real Housewives of of OC is dragging because they keep taking breaks. And it's like we're only on episode, I think, 10 or 11 for Real Housewives of OC. And it feels like it's been on for like forever. But I know it's not going to end. We know they're probably going to have 20 episodes or at least 18. But I feel like the sweet spot for Real Housewives is really like 18 to 20 episodes, or 18 to 20 episodes, and then letting like 21 and 22 be the reunion. These whole 3-part reunions are dragged out. The fact that Miami's only getting 2, I feel that means we're going to get a lot in those 2 episodes that we don't need 3 and 4 parts episodes. But I think this season, like I said, was a good reboot season. The cast is likable. I hope all the ladies come back. I don't think they need to add anybody yet or let anyone go. But good job, ladies. Good job. And I can't wait to see what they're reunion about to give. But remember to be bravely authentic. And I am out, y'all. Remember to drop down in the comments below and give me your thoughts. Deuces.